You've probably seen the commercials with this guy. Like, just imagine if I were that guy talking to you for like 2 hours straight at like 5 in the morning. Don't bother watching it, because we're going to go over everything they do in a commercial in like 10 minutes, maybe. Let's talk about the Power Air Fryer XL. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Tubby Time. Hope you're all doing well. Today we are talking about this amazing kitchen gadget, which I like to think is probably my favorite kitchen gadget that I've ever owned. And yeah, it's an air fryer. Now, before I scare you, you might be thinking, why in the Tubby household do you have an air fryer? Aren't those things healthy? Well, yeah, they are healthier for you, and obviously we prefer deep fried foods, but the convenience you get with this amazing device is second to none, and I love it so much. We've had this air fryer for about, 3 years-ish? Kayla was nice enough to get it for me as a gift many years ago, before she knew what she was getting into, and we have nonstop been using this thing. So I want to talk about how it works, some of the features about it, what we like, what we don't like, and then we're actually going to cook some food. So stay tuned, don't miss out. So first, let's talk about what this thing is. Plain and simple, it's a convection oven. There's no magic or anything that happens that makes this amazing. Just a convection oven that rotates the air through your food and allows for even cooking. Comes in this nice compact size, and they have, I think, 4 different sizes in this particular model. Like I said, this is the Power Air Fryer XL. This is the 3.4 quart, and they have like 5.2 or 3, and then a 6, and then a 7. So even though this is the smallest one, we believe that this one is perfect for families of 2 and even maybe 3. If you are looking to cook whole fried turkeys and stuff like that, this ain't gonna do the trick, but you can buy the bigger ones. Just keep in mind, the convenience of this small one is really what we want to talk about and what we like. So it comes in basically 3 pieces. So we have the basket here. Don't mind it being a little dirty. We haven't really washed it in a while. But this just pops out. It's one of those copper, gross. It's one of those copper plated things, you know, those magic pans or whatever. Makes it easy to clean. And here is the holder for the basket. And then inside the cooker, we can see on top that there's a heating element with a fan, and that's what your food is being cooked with. It just rotates the air throughout. Also a little dirty. We're not the cleanest people, whatever. So this is very easy to use. Usually just keep this like that. And there's a little button here that allows you to protect yourself from doing something like that and dumping crap everywhere. So we slide that over, and it will actually automatically slide onto the button when you put it in the machine. Put your food in, throw it in like so, and there you go. That's it. It also does come with a divider, which, as you can tell, we have never used or opened. So the divider, if you want to cook multiple different things, like vegetables and chicken or something, I don't know, it slides in just like so, and you can use that to divide up your food. We don't do that because we're fat. We just like to throw everything in at once. So once you put that in, you just have a standard plug, and you'll see the power button turn on here. This isn't going to actually activate until you press the power button. So let's say we wanted to cook something, press the power button. Here we can set our time that we want, and it goes up to 60 minutes and 1 minute. And then over here we have our temperatures, which go to 400 and I think 200 or 250 or something like that. What's also cool is you have different modes. So if we go through the top, you have the French fry mode, 400 for 18 minutes, the chicken mode, 20 minutes at 360, the T-bone, specifically T-bone steak, it looks like, 12 minutes at 400. God damn it. And if you want to cancel something, that's how you do it. You just press the power button, and it's going to circulate for a few minutes, and then you'll get an annoying beep that happens. It does take a second. There it is. Okay, enough. Last mode is fish 350 for like 10 minutes. There you go. So the newer models, I do believe, come with, I think, 8 different modes. And obviously the bigger the model you get, the more presets you're gonna have. If you wanna have a whole chicken or something in there, it's gonna have a preset for that, I think, or whatever. So you might be asking, well, okay, that's cool. How do you use it to cook other things that aren't in the presets? Well, that's where it gets very fun, because with your package, you get the following. First, you have the instruction manual, and I know if you're like me, you go, I don't need that. Well, you actually sort of do, because in this instruction manual, you have an amazing chart that tells you how long you need to cook things for. So if we go through, it'll tell you a min and a max amount. So the min is so you don't burn anything, and the max is you don't want to overfill it. Time, temp, if you have to shake it, which I usually do with everything just because, and then comments. So if you have to use oil for something like homemade fries that are raw, if you have to preheat the fryer before you do anything, that's all in here. And the second neat device you get is this little secret book that lets you in on America's #1 favorite, fried foods. Because if you didn't know, Americans like fried food. Revealed! And you have different things like beef roll-ups, chicken tenders, spring rolls. They're just recipes that you can make in this thing, and things that maybe you didn't think of frying before. I don't know, we've never used the recipe book. Maybe on another episode of Tubby Time, we will make air fryer secret recipes from the American cookbook. Cool. In my experience, this thing obviously isn't as quick as a deep fryer. However, I think most of the time I just set it at 400 degrees in 20 minutes and watch it. So it's just like any other kind of cooking device, like an oven or a stovetop. You still have to watch it because it can burn things sometimes. It's very hard, but you don't want things too crispy like fries or mozzarella sticks to go bubbling out just like they would in an air fryer. So it's always good to just keep an eye on it. So many of you are probably asking yourselves, well, I want a power air fryer, right? Because Josh is doing such a great job explaining everything. How much is it? It's like 80 bucks or something on Amazon. What'd you get this for?
I don't remember.
Yeah. So it's like about 80 bucks, I think. That's for this model. Maybe 70 bucks. I can't remember. There are tons of different brands of air fryers out there. That's like the big thing nowadays. When we bought this was like one of the only brands that was popular, but now you have like Cuisinart and other different brands that are cool. So I think for every size, it goes up maybe like $20, $30. And when you get into like the 7-quart one, you're looking at paying, I think, a few $100s, if I remember correctly. But like I said, for a family of 2 or even 3, if you have an infant or something like that, this is pretty good. And we will put a link in the description for Amazon so you can buy this beautiful device. So after using this thing vigorously for about 3 years, I think I have a lot of experience with it, and I want to share with you some of the pros and things I love and some of the cons that maybe they need to work on, or I'm just dumb. First of all, biggest pro, there's barely any cleanup. If you have a pan filled with oil, you have to dump the oil, let it cool. You don't want to waste anything. With a deep fryers get absolutely disgusting. You have to clean that out, and screwing with oil isn't really fun when you're trying to clean something. This thing, you just pop it out. These are dishwasher safe. Got to clean the inside maybe once in a while, as long as you're not cooking anything that's like going to explode or something like that. You can just throw these in. We probably have to clean this, honestly. Next thing, talking about oil, it's safer to use than using a deep fryer. If you have kids or something running around, you have a deep fryer on your counter, and they just jump up and pull that thing right on top of their head, it's not going to be a good time. We don't want that to happen. So this thing just sits up on your countertop. The recessed handle makes it sort of nice, so they're not going to pull it off. And if they do pull it off, you're not going to have oil dumping on their heads. Also talking about the safety aspect of this, I do enjoy getting intoxicated. And when I'm intoxicated, I do enjoy cooking foods, specifically fried foods or frozen foods or something like that. I don't want to fall asleep on the couch with a hot vat of oil going, bubbling all over the countertop, and then Kayla coming out and trying to kick me out of the house. With this, you set it and forget it. And even if it burns, as long as you can put it on for like 60 minutes, that'd be a bad idea. But If I throw some mozzarella sticks in here and I set them for 10 minutes and walk away and fall asleep, it shuts off after 10 minutes. I know like deep fryers come with a timer sometime, but especially if you're just using the stovetop to make your fried foods, I've done that before too, it's not good. Speaking of fried foods, I love what this thing does with frozen foods. So pre-made French fries, mozzarella sticks, pizza rolls, chicken tenders. This thing cooks them perfectly every single time. I absolutely love what it does. It gives a great crunch. So definitely a lot of pros with this, and I really don't regret getting it, even though I didn't pay for it. Some of the cons, however, there are a few that I want to touch on. The first one, this locking mechanism is not that great. So you can easily just rip this off and it'll fall out or whatever. It holds it, but like if I just touch it with my hand slightly, it comes right out. So one thing that's sort of iffy. The next thing I don't really like is the fact that, speaking about being intoxicated, story time. One time I was using this and I pulled it out like this and I let my hand rest right on the bottom. And that gets very hot because, you know, you're cooking with 400-degree air. And when I pulled it out, I did that, and this thing was like on the edge of the countertop, dropped all over the place, and I burned my hand pretty good. So I wish there was sort of more wiggle room. I mean, they have this huge thing that is supposed to protect you, but you can easily just like accidentally burn yourself. So maybe it's not safe for kids. I don't know. As long as you're careful. And like I said, it's better than having oil all over the place. I think my last con with this is I'm not sure how well it cooks raw food. We haven't really experimented much with raw food, like cooking fresh French fries or fresh chicken tenders or something like that. In our experience, this cooking chart isn't necessarily as accurate. We did do French fries one time, and they sort of took way longer. I think they took, like 30 minutes or something, where the cooking chart says 10 to 16. So that's not accurate. And even if you try to like double fry them like they do in the restaurants, it doesn't really make a difference. Speaking of which, this cooking chart. So this is not as accurate as it could be. When you look at this, it just says homemade fries, 10 to 16 minutes. Okay, are they thin fries? Are they thick fries? Damn, boy. You know, it doesn't really go through and tell you yes or no or whatever, but it does tell you thin or thick frozen fries. So that's positive. You really got to play around with it and get to know your air fryer a little bit. And that sounds really weird because it's a pretty standard device. It's not like a smoker or a grill. But in my experience, you sort of have to toy around and try to learn it and do your best to make it through. So that's, I think, all I have to talk about. I think I'm ready to cook some food. What do you say?
Yeah.
So being a fat guy, one of my favorite things ever to cook in this thing is frozen French fries. And I think that's possibly the best thing this device can cook. So we're just gonna make a side of frozen fries for myself to have with my leftover grinder from yesterday. And we're gonna fill this up, you know, just a side or so amount, not too much. I think that's good.
That's plenty.
Well, it's
Just for you.
just to be on the safe side.
Would you like a meal to go with your side of fries, or is that the meal?
Okay. Well, that's probably good. I'm just kidding. I did this because I wanted to show you that this is actually a little overfilled. One of the other cons of this is you can't actually fill this to the brim because the air is not going to circulate and you're going to have uneven cooking. So what they tell you to do is fill it up about 3/4 of the way, and that's basically your max fill. If I were to actually cook all these fries, I'd probably go to, it's a little less than 3/4, but I'd probably go to about there, and that's probably enough for Kayla. I'd probably have to do a second batch for myself. Maybe a little too much, but basically I just covered the bottom portion. So we're just gonna use the preset here for the fries. We'll stick them in, and it's not plugged in, so I gotta do that. Sweet. Power button on, and we'll just do fries. 400 degrees for 18 minutes. And halfway through, we're gonna shake them up and see how they are. Now, you also might be thinking, and this is one question I forgot to address, is what if you have multiple things to cook? And the answer to that is very simple. It's just like if you were to cook something in an oven or something along those lines. You want to cook the thing that is going to take the longest first. So when we do our typical drunk night fries, mozzarella sticks, and pizza bites, we'll usually cook the French fries first, let those sit, and then after those are done, we'll throw in the pizza bites and mozzarella sticks in one container because they actually cook pretty evenly and pretty much at the same pace. So we are 13 minutes in. I'm gonna take these out for a second because I forgot to bring up another con. Ooh, those are looking good though. Look at that. You're not cooking with oil, which is the whole premise of this. So that means when these are done, they're gonna be dry, crispy and delicious, but dry. So we have to season them beforehand. And what I like to do is let them get a little cooked so they have some moisture around the edges. And I do this with pretty much anything. And then I'll just sprinkle some seasoning on. I'm using one of my favorite seasonings ever, Tony something's Creole seasoning. Freaking delicious. I put it on everything. And then I just give it a nice shakeroo. And any extra seasoning will fall to the bottom, so it works out. We'll call that the shake. I think we'll maybe shake it one more time, but I don't think you have to see that. That's basically what I do, is just shake them up a little bit, get all the juices flowing, and go from there. So, yeah, I forgot all the cons I was going to mention. That's all. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been 18 minutes at 400 degrees. Let's see what these bad boys look like. Ooh, yeah, look at that. Let's plate these up. I could have actually just done that. And actually not too much seasoning. I almost grabbed that. Good thing I didn't. I'm not even drinking yet, so these are what they look like. I mean, those aren't bad. Look delicious and evenly cooked. So let's do a taste test of, this is probably the thickest one. Look at that, looks good. Let's just taste it. It's hot, but so delicious. It tastes like a fry. It tastes like a deep fried fry without all the guilt and added calories. That's why I'm so thin now. I've lost like 20, 30 pounds. To be fair, let's get one of the smaller ones that's thin. That one looks good. A little crunchy, but good potato inside. And with that seasoning, I love that seasoning. It's so freaking good. Amazing. So buy yourself one of these things. You're not going to regret it. It's so easy, minimal cleanup, minimal calories. You don't have to worry about grease and all that crap. We're going to do a taste test with these, comparing fried foods and air fried foods and oven baked food. Don't use an oven. Gross. Just get one of these. And when we do that, we will post a link. Like I said, get yourself one of these. Links in the description. Take you right to the same exact model we have. And if you're like us, you'll love them. So thank you once again for watching another episode of Tubby Time. If you liked what you saw, please like, subscribe, comment, leave us suggestions. That's all. I'm gonna go eat some fries. Until next time, stay tubby.